Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sportlight Podcast. On this week's Sportlight Podcast, it's going to be a little bit unique. Last week, we held the Especially for Athletes Golf Invitational down at the beautiful Black Desert Resort in Ivins, Utah, near St. George. And we were joined by some of the most successful CEOs, professional athletes, college athletes that support our program. And on hole 17, we set up a camera and we asked them two questions. What advice would you give to a young athlete who wants to be great? And what advice would you give to a young athlete who wants to use their spotlight to lift and help those around them? This podcast is a compilation of the wonderful answers that came from that. We hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the Sportlight Podcast for parents, coaches, and athletes. The Sportlight refers to the time in an athlete's life when they have increased ability to affect the culture around them and the increased opportunity to learn life's lessons through sports. This podcast aims to help parents and coaches capitalize on their athletes' precious time in the Sportlight. The Sportlight Podcast is brought to you by Especially for Athletes program.
All right, welcome to the podcast. We are so excited for you to hear just the compilation of wonderful advice that was given. But before we do that, we want to take a minute to thank all of those whose efforts allowed us to hold the Especially for Athletes Golf Tournament down at the Black Desert Resort. We are so grateful for all of the generous donors, for all of those who believe in our cause, for all of those who use their spotlight to help bring attention to the wonderful cause of Especially for Athletes as we try to help young people become the best athletes they could be and learn life's lessons through sports, and then use that spotlight that they get to help and lift those around them and to help all of those who are in need at their schools and in their communities, those who are lonely, those who are struggling with anxiety and depression and suicidal ideation, and just those who need a friend and those who need a cause. We are so grateful for all of those who are so generous to us that allow us to do what we do to help athletes live their life with their eyes up and to do the work. So thank you so much. We also want to thank the Black Desert Resort. I wanted to read a little description of this beautiful resort, maybe just to bring into the mind of some of our listeners that this might be a place you want to visit. So here's the little description that was given to us in our booklet that was given to us. Nestled within southern Utah's breathtaking storied landscape of jet black lava beds and towering cliffs, a new resort destination and championship Tom Weiskopf 19-hole golf course beckons you to experience Greater Zion, a welcoming community of kindred spirits that celebrates the rare, natural grandeur of Utah's desert with awe-inspiring amenities and a full spectrum of experiences. Black Desert Resort puts remarkable within reach. I totally agree with that description. It is a remarkable golf course and resort. We invite you to check it out. You could go to blackdesertresort.com to check it out. It is an absolutely stunning golf course that's challenging. It's going to be a PGA golf course next year. They're holding a PGA event in October. And man, it challenges golfers like me. Some of you are way better than me, but it was such a fun golf course. blackdesertresort.com. Go check it out. And we are very grateful for how gracious they were. They were wonderful hosts of this event. All right, now let's get to the podcast part. So the first bit you're going to hear is all of these professional college athletes and coaches and CEOs of companies and large organizations. We are going to have them just share 30 seconds to a minute on advice that they would give to young athletes who want to be great. So here's their advice.
I'm Mike Smith. I'm a part of E4A, and I was asked the question, what advice would I give young athletes if they want to be great? Number one, it's got to be your passion, right? It's got to be the thing you want to do more than anything else. My craft in high school, I had 4 sports, but it became basketball. And so when my buddies were out getting into mischief, I was actually going out with headphones on and dribbling a basketball and finding a gym to spend the time to get better at my craft. I remember countless hours on the pavement writing down with chalk how many free throws I would make out of 10 until I get to 100, and I would log the number and then the next day try and do better. one example of what you can do. But if you want to be great, you got to do that.
Nick Greer, what advice would I give to young athletes for them to be great? I would tell you, have a heart of gratitude. If you are grateful in all aspects, in all things, and in all ways of your life, you create those habits for the rest of your life that you will be a game changer in the game and then out of the game of life. You want to have a heart full of thankfulness, gratitude, and just appreciation for everything around you. I'm telling you right now, be grateful and show your gratitude to everyone around you. And then you realize, I've got a humble heart and I'm willing to learn, and I'm going to continue to learn and continue to become who I need to become. That's what I would say.
Shad Lewis, what advice would I give to young athletes if they want to be great? Number one, you got to be cool to your parents. They're doing so much for you. They're doing your laundry, making your food. They're supporting you in your ups and your downs. And please be cool to your parents. They're the first circle of like support. They love you, love them right back. Even as you go through junior high and high school, when your own self identity is weird, trust your parents, love your parents, and always tell them thank you, and just let them be a part of your life. Boom.
My name is Ben Cahoon. As far as advice that I would give young athletes, if they want to be great, I think don't worry about being great. Focus on the day-to-day. A motto that I really love is consistency is more important than greatness. And if you're consistent every day with your workouts or your goals, then the greatness takes care of itself.
Hi friends, Lee Johnson here. What advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? Well, I would say passion is critical. So if you find something you're passionate about, you must do it, and do it a lot. And do it with great passion, but make sure you like it. If you like it with great passion, you'll be successful. That's my advice.
My name is Keanu Aquino. What advice would you give to young athletes if they want to be great? I think you should surround yourself with great people. Go find the best competition that you can and just play against those guys, and it'll make you better. If you can't find people who are really good, then just find people who have great attitudes, and they'll help make you great.
Hey, my name is David Bradford. What a gorgeous day to be here at Black Desert. Amazing golf course. And you young athletes, remember this advice. If you want to succeed in life, there are dreamers and there are doers. The world needs both, but most of all, the world needs dreamers that do. So remember, create your dream, but don't forget about going off and executing on that dream. You'll be happy you did.
Hi, my name is Benson Metcalf. What advice would I give young athletes if they want to be great? I think it's really important to enjoy the grind of practice, and whether that's in your athletic career or in your business career when you're done with sport, I just think that the daily grind is where greatness is. So you have to appreciate the hard work of practice and the journey. It's not really about, the outcome so much as it is the process. So good luck.
Dan Ivins here, and I was asked to say what advice would I give to a young athlete if they want to be great. Is two things. Number one is have a growth mindset. So when you have a coach or someone you've hired to help you out, the more they talk to you about what you can do better, the better off it is. That's a coach's love language, is sharing what you can do better every single day. And then number two is that you're never as good as your best day and you're never as bad as your worst day, and just enjoy the process. Every day get a little bit better.
What advice would you give to young athletes if they wanted to be great? My advice would be, don't let setbacks influence how you feel about yourself and your confidence. Be confident in your craft. Be confident in how much time you're putting in to get better. And when you have a setback, learn from it and then let it go. Short-term memory will make you a better athlete and a better businessman or whatever you want to be in life. That's all I got.
My name is Brian Taylor. What advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? Well, I think Tim McGraw said it best. Always be humble and kind. So enjoy the opportunity to be in the spotlight and what comes along with it, because it goes really fast. But one day you're just going to be an old guy like me, and it's all about how you treat people. So enjoy it, but stay humble, be kind to others, and have fun.
My name is Rich LeSueur, and I've been asked to answer the question, what advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? For me, the answer is simple. Use your talents and do things for others without the expectation of getting anything in return.
My name is Matt Kelly. What advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? I would say you need to learn to know who you are and to love yourself. And when you can learn to love yourself for who you are, you'll be able to love others just as much.
Hi, my name's Kelly Burt from San Diego. What advice would I give a young athlete who wants to be great? Be willing to sacrifice today's pleasures for tomorrow's championships.
Brian Attridge, CEO of Utah Youth Soccer. What advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? That's a great question. I know you're getting a lot of good answers. What I would say is be grateful. If you're going to be great, you already have the tools, you already have the athletic ability to be exceptional and great. You have to have other attributes. And I would say being grateful for what you have every day when you get up, that you're grateful that you can do the sport that you love, that you have coaches and family members that support you and help you reach your potential, and take that attitude of gratefulness into everything that you do.
Hi, my name's Craig Cheney. What advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? In my experience, I think it's really important for young athletes to surround themselves with people that love them and care about them, that are going to give them good advice and be a good influence on them. That way, when they are around others, they can exemplify those same traits in trying to help those around them that maybe lack in confidence. They can be a great example to those that they come in contact with.
Justin Barlow. The question I'm going to answer is, what advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? So I'm going to give two. My first advice is going to be patient. Take your time, be patient. Nothing happens overnight. And my second bit of advice, and I hope this comes across right, because I think it's very important, is embrace failure. Because failure is really how you learn, and that's how you adapt, and that's how you overcome. So without failure, you're not going to be better at whatever you do. So recognize failure, embrace failure, and don't shy away from failure, because it's a good thing.
What advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? I would mostly say that you've got to persevere and work through tough times, because in sports, a lot of times things may not be going your way, may not be doing what you want to do out on the field, may not be getting the playing time that you want, but there's a lot of hard times in sports, and you just got to learn to push through those and just keep going. And, don't quit when things get hard. Don't quit in sports. Don't quit in life. Just keep going and push through things.
I'm Hal Yalsey. The question is, what advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? My advice would be to work hard and be who you are. Don't try and be somebody else.
Lane Harris, what advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? I would just say be yourself. Just don't worry about what everybody else is doing, and don't be afraid to be different. I know in this day and age, people try to conform and fit in with what their friends are doing or with what their friends are, and I just think you just got to be yourself. Do the best you can do, and I think that's a good approach.
Mike Wood. I have two student athlete son and daughter, and what makes them great is their ability to take information from the coach, whether it's good or bad, make adjustments, and also to help those who are around them who are playing, who need help. So picking up your fellow players and also listening to the coach's feedback, whether it's good or bad.
So to young athletes, I'd tell you to find your differentiator, whatever it is, no matter what it is, whether it's your personality, your strength, your physicality, who you are as a person, leadership, whatever it is, and then seek to hone that differentiator to the benefit of others and to your team in every way that you do. Just find that thing that is unique to you and grow it.
Jamie Dunn, what advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? I would encourage you to work extremely hard at a young age, both in sports and in school, because the more work you put in at a young age, the more the results of that work compounds over your life.
Hey, I'm Jeff Ross. The advice I would give to young athletes who want to be great is prepare for failure, embrace failure, and you'll succeed a lot faster.
I'm Koji. Question is, what advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? I think it goes outside of just the actual sport itself. If you are talented in any way, I would encourage you to mentor others, look out for them, and make it a team effort instead of an individual.
Hey everybody, my name is Peter Rodasta. What advice would I give to young athletes if they want to be great? First of all, express curiosity, be really curious. Ambition, like a really big thing. And thirdly, surround yourself with people that you would inspire and aspire to. Thanks.
All right, Odie Vincent. What advice would I give young athletes if they want to be great? I say, remember that when things are good, they're never as good as you think they are. And when things are bad, they're never as bad as you think they are. So hang in there, be patient, stay humble, and stick with it.
My name is Blaze Aranzulo. What advice would you give young athletes if they wanted to be great? Just wake up every single day and grind, man. I mean, it's just, you gotta, actually, let me change that. I would say you gotta make sure you love it. And if you love it, there's going to be days that are really hard and really bad, but because you love it, you're still out there working hard, and you got to push through the bad times. And the good times will feel better than that.
What advice would I give young athletes if they want to be great? One of the hardest things to do as a young athlete is to understand that if you consistently show up and give your honest effort, you will consistently get better, which is the most challenging for the best athletes. The best athletes tend to not feel that they need to work the hardest, and they will soon be passed by those that work harder. So as one of the better athletes, my recommendation is make sure you work the hardest.
Ben Murdoch, and question is, what advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? My dad always taught me that there's two things you can control in life. The first one is your attitude, and the second one is your effort. So no matter what happens, if you can have a great attitude and positive attitude, and then the second thing is give your best effort in everything you do, and you'll be able to accomplish great things.
Taylor Garrett, what advice would I give to young athletes if they want to be great? I think it's important for athletes to learn how to work hard, learn how to fail. I think failing is a big part of life, a big part of sports. It's important to learn how to recuperate when the chips are down, and make sure you're working hard through it. I think that's a great life lesson. I think you need to learn how to succeed. I think especially for athletes, does a great job of people that are succeeding to grow and develop the people around them even more. And that's a big life lesson for everybody to go throughout. Thanks.
Ron Davis, what advice would I give young athletes if they want to be great, have balance in their life, and to never quit?
Alex Bean, what advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? I'd say small habits go a long way.
Mike Larson, what advice would you give young athletes if they want to be great? Stay humble and just keep working hard.
Hi, I'm Dave Hanks. I think if you want to be great in athletics or sports, life, the most important thing to do is just show up, be present. You can't be great if you're not where you need to be, and then work hard. Do the most important thing first, and life will turn out well. Good luck. Thanks.
Hi, Chad Westover. To be great, I think you really need to make sure that you don't care who gets credit. Be a team player. Be kind, loving to others, and just don't be a ball hog. Don't care who gets the credit.
Hi, I'm Gary Bynan. To be great in sports, I think you want to be very coachable. You want to be humble, take good advice, follow your coach's advice. And at the same time, I think you want to help other people around you. So that means you want to lift them up with your attitude. So have a good, positive attitude, regardless of how the situation's going. And if it gets tough, just dig down in and come out strong. All right? Thanks.
My name is Brandon Doman. And what advice would I give young athletes if they want to be great? Two things that I was taught at a young age that have had a great impact on my life. If your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, you can achieve it. And with that principle comes the saying that I was raised with, that preparation plus opportunity equals success.
My name is Nick Morgan, and what advice would I give young athletes if they want to be great? The first thing I would do is make sure you understand what the definition of great actually is. I think a lot of people mean success as far as like notoriety and stuff, but I think it's the exact opposite. I think it's the way you carry yourself off the field, not just on the field.
Hi, good afternoon. My name's Kurt Christensen. The advice I'd give to any athlete is to not pay attention to results, to focus all your energy on preparation. And then when you're in competition, just relax and let all your preparation take you to where you want to go.
My name is Austin McPhee. My advice for young athletes that want to be great would be to surround yourself with those that have seen the movie before and get mentors that have been there and have actually, have the experience of being great and ask them all the questions, what it took to do that. And then really stay close to them and get the advice all along the way.
All right. That was awesome advice on the subject of what advice would you give to a young person who wants to be great. So this next compilation goes right to the heart of the mission of our organization. We asked all these influential people, what advice would you give to a young athlete who wants to use their spotlight to help and lift those around them? Here's that compilation. Enjoy.
Now, I would ask, what advice would I give a young athlete so they could help use their spotlight to help others and lift others around them? This is something that's very dear to my heart. I didn't even realize I was doing this in high school because it was my parents who always told me, hey, go say hi to somebody. Go meet a new person today. Go walk somebody to class you wouldn't usually walk. Go befriend someone who looks like he doesn't have any friends or she doesn't. And I did those things, but I didn't know I was doing it for those reasons. And maybe I wasn't doing it for the right reasons. Maybe I was just doing it because I was obeying my parents. But I did it, and I believe in it. And I believe that life is not so much about us as everything we have today, from Instagram to Twitter to TikTok to everything, is kind of all about me. I think we've all been given God-given talents to use to lift others, to expand our horizons, to help others find their true self. So, as we always like to say, eyes up and do the work.
What advice would you give a young athlete that would help them use their spotlight to help lift those around them? I think that's, without being too trite, treat other people how you want to be treated. First of all, if you have a position of influence and people look up to athletes, I think that's pretty well known in today's society. I think you have an extra responsibility to treat people how you'd want to be treated. So it's pretty simple. I think sometimes it gets lost, especially today with everyone chasing to be the next great athlete. But at the end of the day, we're all in this together. Everyone has their own struggle. Even people that are successful in athletics, they have things they're dealing with that other people don't know. So just be conscious of that. Reach out to other people and try to lift people.
That's great advice. Love that.
Love you.
Awesome.
All right. Hello. My name's Sean Hayden, and I've been asked to answer a question. And the question is, what advice would you give to a young athlete that would help them use their spotlight to help and lift those around them? I think it's important for the youth of today, and everybody for that matter, to understand how much influence they have, how capable they are, and how important it is to reach out to people in need. Many of us are blessed with great bodies, great health, and there's always somebody that's looking for a little bit of a lift. So use that energy, use all of your gifts to go lift the people around you. That's it.
Hi, my name's Chris Lindell. Happy to be here. If you want to lift and serve others, you need to make yourself healthy first. You can do that by forgetting about yourself, loving the Lord and loving your fellow man. Live the law of reciprocity, and things take care of themselves. Thanks.
What advice would you give to a young athlete that would help them to use their spotlight to help and lift those around them? I think one thing that we're missing today in sports is teamwork. Remember your team, remember your team members, and help them be better. If you help them be better, you will be better.
What advice would you give to a young athlete that would help them use their spotlight to help and lift those around them.
No.
Long as just
I'm doing this in the morning.
I would say look out for the underdog. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just don't have everything going for them. So I would just say look out for them and try to be an example and be a light to them and go with that.
Advice you would give to young athletes that would help them use their spotlight to help and lift those around them. Just look for those out there on your team and around you that might need an uplifting hand. And I think that's the key thing. And you can see it. You as an athlete, you'll be working enough with coaches and teammates and players and other people that you'll see when something is amiss with someone. And when you see that, take advantage of it and seek to uplift their life in some way, whether it's an arm around them, a kind word, checking in how they're doing, or just doing something for them. Those things make a difference in everyone's life, no matter who you come in contact with.
And it says, what advice would you give a young athlete that would help them use their spotlight to help and lift those around them? That's a great question. I would say just be the best team player you can possibly be. Continue to encourage others because some people are late bloomers in sports. And push those guys to be great. Just because they're not great today doesn't mean they can't be great a couple years down the road. So,
what advice would I give to a young athlete that would help them use their spotlight to help and lift others around them? I would recommend the power of kindness is so sorely underestimated. And the reason that there are sports for you to play and the reason that there are opportunities for you is because there are people that come to watch and they are fans. And if you treat them with a small amount of grace and gratitude, they will continue to come and support you, and you will continue to have opportunities.
Hi, my name is Michelle Smith. I'm the president of Larry H. Miller Sports Plus Entertainment. I'm really excited to talk a little bit about your Sportlight. I'd give you some pieces of advice from my time over the years working in sports, maybe not being an athlete, but certainly having the same type of visibility and really honor to be a part of sports. There's so much power in sports and the ability to help bring smiles, the ability to help bring people together and understand their strengths, and the ability to just have a tribe or a team. So wherever you can, bring people into your tribe, help them understand their value, and make them smile. That's my biggest piece of advice, and I think that's something that you'll use your whole life.
What advice would I give a young athlete that would help them use their spotlight to help lift those around them? I would say always be positive and try to lift others.
What advice would you give to a young athlete that would help them use their spotlight to help others and lift those around them? I would just say get to know people around you. A lot of people look up to you. Stay positive, keep a smile on your face, because there's a lot of people that look up to you.
So my name's Brian Babcock. I'm the president of Utah Youth Soccer. And the question is, what advice would you give to a young athlete that would help them use their spotlight to help and lift those around them? Well, those that are in the spotlight obviously are people that are being watched. And so to be a great example, they can be a great example to those around them. A lot of times they're could be more popular people in school and things of that nature, and they get looked up to. And so if they can portray a good attitude with their sports and just in life in general, they can buoy people up. You can see a lot of the kids that don't have the recognition and some of those things. And so if those people that are in that can put their arms around them and buoy them up and help them along the way, that's what it's all about, to help them along.
I'm Jim Morgan, and I would give advice to those in sports to use their spotlight to be kind to other people and to smile and spread it with just including everybody around you, especially someone who's alone. And I think you'll have more friends and be happier.
And then what advice would you give to a young athlete that would help them use their spotlight to help and lift those around them? You have no idea who's watching you, who's paying attention to you, and the words that you use, the people that you choose to say hi to, whether you're at the local grocery store, walking down the hallway, people are watching. And be a builder. Choose to be a producer and a builder and somebody that makes a difference rather than someone that chooses to tear down or destroy or break down anything that's around you. And remember, they're watching.
And then what advice would I give to a young athlete that would help them use their Sportlight to help and lift those around them? I would say you got to remember the people that got you there, especially God. So to me, that's critical.
As far as using your Sportlight, I love the phrase, keep your head up. Because as we keep our head up, we notice people who are on the fringes, and sometimes they're right in the middle of us who are struggling. And with your head up, you can notice these people and provide the help that they need. Have a great day.
I would just, those young athletes that they have it, and whether they know it or not, everyone younger than them that sees them wearing those jerseys look up to them like they're their heroes, and just be abundant. That's what I would say, is just help as many people as you possibly can. Be humble, be hungry, and just give back, and that will come back to you. And that would be my advice.
I'm Mark Briggs, and the question I'm going to answer is, what advice would you give to a young athlete that would help them use their Sportlight to help and lift those around them? I think the two things would be, one, it's okay to make mistakes. Things happen, own up to it and move on, but don't let it let you down or get you down. And the second would be kind to all those around you. You never know when somebody's having a bad day, but if you are always kind and respectful, it will pay off.
And then the second question I was asked is, what advice would I give a young athlete who could use their Sportlight to lift those around them? Is your athleticism and your talent and your success is a product of what you were given when you were born, and then also the support system you have around you. And so realize that some kids don't have that support system or those God-given gifts. Everyone grows and develops at a different rate. And so you have the chance where you're doing so well to help someone who eventually will do really well as well.
What advice would you give to a young athlete that would help them use their Sportlight to help and lift those around them? I think if you can always look for somebody else that maybe isn't getting the same attention that everybody else is getting, and you can show them a little attention, and others see that, given that you're in that Sportlight, it's going to make a huge difference, not only in their life, but the way others see them as well. So that's the best thing you can do is do it to one of the ones that could use the most.
Jared Lucero. What advice would you give to a young athlete that would help them use their Sportlight to help and lift those around them? I think the most important thing an athlete who has the Sportlight is that they're the teammate that everybody else is looking at. And so just be a good teammate. Learning to be a good teammate is the same as being a good husband or a good wife or a good father, mother. All the things you're going to do in your life start with, how you act as a teammate. So that's the best advice I could give.
Second question is, what advice would I give young athlete who wants to use their Sportlight to help and lift those around them? I think it's all about the relationships in life, and there's always somebody you can reach out to and help. So look around you, see who has a need. There's always somebody on your team that needs lift up, and just be aware of those around you.
What advice would you give to a young athlete? My name is Emmanuel now, by the way. Holler at your boy. Check me out on Instagram. What advice would you give to young athlete that would help them use their Sportlight to help and lift those around them? Ultimately, treat everybody like humans. Treat people like they matter, even if they don't necessarily matter, you don't know who they are. I think that's the best thing you can do as an athlete, is realize that everybody matters, everybody's important. And so, yeah, you can use your social media influence to help people and influence good. But ultimately, if everybody you come in contact with leaves with an uplifting experience, feeling like they matter, feeling like they got a minute of your time, I think your influence will be great.
My name is David Bradford, Tech CEO. You guys have a wonderful future ahead of you. But remember this one principle in your life, regardless of what else you do, is to give first. Think first of other people. That's the way to give back truly, to succeed in life and help others. So if you think first of others, if you go to that conference and you look around and say, who needs some help? Who needs some advice? How can I help them? Believe me, the law of reciprocity will set in, and they will be interested in coming back and helping you. So remember, give first, and you'll love it.
All right, we hope you found that as uplifting as we did as we listened to all of those wonderful bits of advice from all of these wonderful, successful people who do so much for so many. Thank you so much for joining the Sportlight Podcast. If you're interested in supporting our organization and joining these wonderful people to support our organization, please go to E4A.org and get in contact with us. Thank you so much. Eyes up. Do the work.
This has been the Sportlight Podcast from Especially for Athletes, sponsored by Coca-Cola. You can learn more about Especially for Athletes by visiting the website at especiallyforathletes.org. You can also learn more about the book, The Sportlight, by Shad Martin and Dustin Smith at especiallyforathletes.org/book.